coast.
Yeah, the barrier islands and Pinellas closed last night, and once the winds pick up and the water starts trickling onto the bridges, they will close. And we're joined now by David Connor, the Public Information Manager for Pinellas County. So, David, first off, we do know shelters were open this morning, but we are getting word that
coming in a place that we've already had a confirmed tornado, Jim. So this is heading into Highlands County.
Yeah, we've watched a number of these cells working their way down to our south across Alligator Alley, a number of confirmed tornado warnings, and you can see this area that we're talking about. This is now working its way into southern Highlands County. So just putting some of the cities across central and southern Highlands County. This is moving to the northwest very quickly, 35 miles an hour. This is a radar indicated. We did have a signature in here and earlier of a confirmed tornado. So if you're in this area, down across central and southern Highlands County inside this warning, essentially from Lake Placid to the south, you want to go to that safe location in your house because we do have a storm and a tornado that has been confirmed earlier that is working its way up in this direction. And this is very quick moving. You flip over and you look at the reflectivity, and you can really see that hook in there as well, which is
those
disturbing.
towns that Jim put there in the bottom left, that gives you how many minutes until, if this thing is on the ground, if it holds together, it's going to get to you. So again, we're talking about Highlands County now. This is just the first of what honestly we believe is going to be a lot. There'll be a lot of tornado warnings. There's another one in Charlotte County as well, and that's encompassing that huge area of rain that we've been showing you pushing on shore. And it wouldn't surprise me, Jim, as that moves northward, if that doesn't start to impact Sarasota County with warnings as well.
Yeah, I really do think that we're going to see more and more of these warnings, and this is something I know you and Valerie have been talking about this through the morning. We've been watching this line, this very intense line. If you go out a little bit wider on this, you can see how it is just that one of these spiral bands that's just going to continue to work its way on shore. So places like Sarasota County, I mean, it could be really in the next 20, 30 minutes that we start to see some of this activity working its way along there. And this is all well in advance of the really strong winds that we're going to see later on today. But we have that threat right now, the immediate threat of these bands, these outer bands that work their way through. And you get these quick spin-up tornadoes, and it's going to be just a really bad afternoon, it looks like.
I don't think I've ever seen a tornado warning on the east side of Lake Okeechobee and then another one on the west side of Lake Okeechobee. But there is the case. You have two distinct tornadoes, one on either side of the lake. The atmosphere and the way that it's all spinning, it's very violent right now. And that type of atmosphere is moving up to the north, which is why we're beginning to get the warnings in Highlands County. And then Hardy County, DeSoto County, well, you don't have any warnings yet. We're likely to see these as they continue to move to the north. It's a multifaceted storm, and I know we've been focusing on landfall, storm surge, but before we get to that, we've got these tornadoes, which are initially kind of kicking off the whole event, I think, for the area.
Yeah, and we just continue to see, when we look at that, what we call the rotation detector, we're definitely seeing a very definite signature of a rotation with this cell, and it just, with it moving so quickly on to the north, this is gonna be something that gets here really before you know it. And so if you're in these central or southern portions of Highlands County, you want to get into that safe location, away from doors, away from windows, into the middle of the house on that lowest level.
And this is what I want. People are probably saying, well, you know, a lot of times you guys don't, you see these tornadoes, the radar indicates them, but they're not there. Well, listen, folks, that was from earlier. Maybe an hour ago in Palm Beach County. That is a confirmed tornado. Those are the types of tornadoes that this has been producing so far this morning. And I just wanted you to realize that when we tell you there's a tornado warning for Highlands County, folks, and it could look potentially something like that, I need you to get into that interior room, Jim.
And this was from a cluster, the same cluster of cells that we've been watching. So all these cells that were down across Alligator Alley that confirmed tornadoes down there. These are the same ones that are now moving up into our southern portions of our viewing area. I want to go ahead and just talk about some tornado safety really quickly here, just to give you an idea of where you want to be inside your house. So you want to go away from those. You want to go towards the interior location, avoid the windows in your house. So this is highlighted with that bathroom. So that's a really good place, right towards the center of your house in that lowest spot in your house.
For most people, that's a bathroom.
Yes.
It really is. And if it's a closet, I'm sure that it's probably not cleaned out enough for you to get in there. But for typically, yes, it is that interior room that we're looking for. You know, as Jim is bringing that radar back out, that vicious line of rain from Bradenton all the way down through Bonita Springs, there was no doubt.
From county officials, 3 Pinellas County shelters are now at capacity. Those are Largo High School, Leelman Innovation Academy, and Palm Harbor University Building 19. There are still shelters available, though. County officials want you to know 11 shelters are still accepting people, but the time is now, as you keep hearing, to go to those shelters and evacuate if you plan to. Guys, back to you.
Some good information there. And yeah, we are standing by waiting to hear from the Pinellas Emergency Operations Center, so hopefully we can ask them some more questions about those shelters. Kaylee Tracy reporting for us. Thank you.
Yeah, the power of wind and storms. We were talking about it earlier. I remember that crane that was bent like a wire hanger from Superstorm Sandy in New York City. I mean, it doesn't take much for those cranes to become dangerous. Yeah. To our north, Pasco County, not out of the woods yet.
And Charlie Belcher's at the Emergency Operations Center, where officials are monitoring Milton's movements. Hey, Charlie, good morning.
Good day to you, Jennifer. Yeah, excuse me, absolutely. Level 1, as they say at the Emergency Operations Center, means all hands on deck, basically, and they're on a 24 on, 24 off schedule right now, and there's representatives from all different municipalities that make up the county, as well as utilities and different services, and they are all literally plugged in, going through briefings and Zooms meetings with Tallahassee, and just want to make sure the messaging is correct right now, and want to make sure they're in the right place to render aid when it is necessary. Just a couple of weeks ago, Hurricane Helene, with that massive storm surge, we were here when they were doing water rescues over off Hudson Beach and up and down west of 19 throughout Pasco County. They know they're going to have to do that again. And I know that that landfall has shifted to the south, but it's such a big storm. There's going to be so much rain falling. There's going to be definite high winds. There's going to be localized flooding. The messaging here has not changed. Andrew Fossa, Emergency Management Director, says the message is the same.
Evacuate We're still going to get surge from this storm, but now we're going to get wind. So these damaged mobile homes, these damaged structures, they're not going to be safe to stay in. Please heed our warning. Use Go Pasco, use Uber. It's a free ride from both of them. Get you to a shelter and be safe.
At what time is that too dangerous to do? At what point have you waited too late to evacuate?
So I'm thinking around between 4 and 5 today. We're going to start seeing winds and bands come through. And when that happens, Go Pasco stops working. Uber's going to probably shut down. And the citizens that did not evacuate are going to be stuck in their residence.
So you see right now, I mean, the weather will continue to deteriorate. Little rain right now, little breezy, gusty. So if you did have to make that last minute decision, now is the time to do it. They're especially worried about people in mobile home parks. A lot of mobile home parks in Pasco County. And they're just worried about them withstanding the winds and the rain and the localized flooding that's going to happen. So if you're in one of those areas and you know where you live, you know what happens there. If you're on the fence at all, definitely go to a friend's house on higher ground or go to one of the shelters that they have open here. I will tell you that all of the shelters in Pasco County are pet friendly. Now that does mean dogs and cats. That doesn't, hamsters and exotic pets and stuff like that, and that's an argument for another time, but the rules are the rules, and it's dogs and cats. But they will all accept dogs and cats, and we've got more than 4,000 people already in shelters throughout Pasco County. If you've got to get there, now is the time. Sandbag locations are closing at noon, so I mean, we're at a little after 11:20. I mean, if you haven't done that by now, you've got a half an hour, not much time left, really, to be honest. Hopefully, your plans are in place. You are where you're going to be to ride out this storm, and don't let that shift to the south give you a look. Can you be relieved that it's not going to come in Newport Richey off the coast? Yes, we now know.